Good day, I'm Jamilah Guevarra, a BS Psychology student from the National University Laguna, Philippines, and I'm here to present our research entitled A Phenomenological Analysis on the Child Rearing Experiences of Dadings with Biological Children. Our research was inspired by the Philippine television drama series entitled Dading. It is a combination of the word dading, meaning father, and then bading, that is a Filipino slang word commonly used to refer male homosexuals in the Philippines. Despite the numerous researches about homosexuals and other members of the LGBTQIA+ community, until now, people still find it hard to accept the fact that gender is fluid. One example is with same-sex couples who adopted kids. There are times that people still question their capabilities as a parent, since people often think that if your assigned sex at birth is male, therefore your orientation and gender identity must be masculine, thus being the haligi ng tahanan or a father in the Philippine context. So what more if it's a single gay parent? The dadings are expected to take up the identities of heteronormative assumptions such as the classic haligi ng tahanan figure. But with this kind of belief, their gender identities become limited on either side of the spectrum. Other than that, the study of Carnero in 2017 asserted that families like those with single gay fathers are deemed to be unhelpful for the development of the child, as the roles of the parents are not as clear as they seem to be. With these beliefs towards the dadings, they somehow forced to fit in their identities on the societal norms when it comes to their gender roles. So why gay, of all people under the LGBTQIA+ spectrum? It is because gay men are judged more harshly than lesbians because they are perceived to be as people who violate the traditional gender roles and the hegemonic model of masculinity, meaning men are the ones that should have more dominance in terms of power and capabilities in our society. Thus, once the dings or gays portray a more feminine personality, they violate the traditional gender roles. This strikes the two of the most stigmatized practices in our country, first being a single father and second being a homosexual. This is why we wanted to explore the phenomenon of what they are experiencing. For the methodology of the study, we utilized the qualitative research using the phenomenological approach. Specifically, a transcendental phenomenological approach will be applied in this study since it will focus on the lived experiences of the beings in child rearing. The respondents of the research are 6 selected single gay fathers who were never married with biological children in the Philippines. For the specifier of their children, the middle childhood stage with an age range of 7 to 12 is the goal for this study, since it is in this age where the child may already have awareness or idea about his or her father's gender identity and expression. There may be a small sample for this study, but it does not have to necessarily be big, as the rich and vivid experiences would be highlighted in this. Its diversity would be cohesive enough to discover the perceptions of the beings in their child rearing experiences. We utilize the purposive sampling method since the selection would be based on a certain criteria and the respondents must meet those to participate in the study. Research instrument, the researchers formulated an open-ended questions. The questions in the in-depth interview would target the lived experiences, insights, meanings, challenges, and understanding of the phenomena of child rearing by single gay fathers. It is divided into 2 segments. First revolve around the child rearing experiences, including the problems and the issues faced by the teens. And for the second segment, it focused on how the teens feel and cope with their predicaments related to child rearing. For the data analysis, it was described using transcendental phenomenological analysis. Discrepancies that could affect the results of the research, such as the researchers' influence towards the respondents and the bias in response analysis, would be avoided. The process of bracketing is also done where the researchers are assumed to be in a state of tabula rasa. This would enable them to remove all the biases, assumptions, or judgments that could possibly influence the derived essences from the data. Horizonalization is also done, wherein the selection of specific statements in the transcripts can provide information about the experiences of the beings in child rearing will take place. The researchers would simply put it in the table so that it would be easy for them to see the range of perspectives about the phenomenon. Lastly, the formation experience. For the results of the study, the Dadings have various ways in raising their children despite all the struggles. They have shared all the different ways they do to raise their children. All their efforts in molding their children to something wonderful gives them a sense of fulfillment, especially when they see its effectivity. Other than that, what the Dadings implement is based on what they believe can responsibly raise the child. They see to it that their children will always feel the love and support that they give to help maintain the healthy relationship that they built with their children. Seeing the responses of their children on their parenting efforts drives them to improve themselves every day when it comes to child rearing. Second, there were strategies the Dadings utilize in order to surpass their problems. As the Dadings are perceived and taught by the society to be alone for the rest of their lives, once they were able to find their constant support system, whom they feel that deeply understands them and listens to their problems, they feel comforted and consider them as someone that they can rely on. Thus, feeling comforted as they spend their time with them. One of the support systems that was highlighted is their family. Also, it is observed that the Dadings found comfort towards people who have similar experiences, such as their fellow members of the LGBTQIA+ community. The second strategy applied by the Dadings is having firm attachments when it comes to their life principles. Life principles as defined and analyzed based on their statements is used by the Dadings as a guide when it comes to tackling their problems that they are facing. Each parent has their own unique experience when it comes to rearing their child. Given the views of the society towards the Dadings, it adds up to the struggles and stigma that they face, considering that the Dadings are part of the non-traditional family in the Philippines. It is evident how the country's culture and past literature constantly promotes the continuous efforts of the Dadings in child rearing. Thus, the result of the present study is consistent with the present literature. It boils down to how the Dadings try to make sense and look for the essence of their child rearing experiences while dealing with a lot of struggles consequently. For them, what they experience is truly fulfilling and makes them feel complete as long as they see that their child is happy. They are like heroes of their own story as they increasingly strive despite the hate that is thrown at them. Lastly, for our recommendations, everyone has their own way of expressing themselves, and each one of us has their own unique experiences. Be more open to progressive ways of raising their children. Single parents like the Dadings should not receive an undeserved hate that they get from people just because they are deviating their societal norms. Empathize and understand the challenges in child rearing experiences of the Dadings. Create a significant shift that would minimize the stigma towards the Dadings and the LGBTQIA+ community. For our government, we must implement more local and national laws protecting the rights of the LGBTQIA+ Filipinos. They deserve to be seen and freely express themselves in a manner that they want. Laws protecting their rights make a huge difference in the way that they are treated. They do not deserve the hate, discrimination, and judgment that they receive daily because of the prevailing heteronormative beliefs and assumptions in the country. If the government itself would show their support and concern to this community, the nation could possibly have a change in perspective, becoming a more open and progressive society. Thank you, and once again, I'm Jamilah Guevarra, a BS Psychology student from the National University Laguna, Philippines, and this is our study entitled A Phenomenological Analysis of the Child Rearing Experiences of the Dadings with Biological Children.